Hello everyone and welcome back to Family Life Leaders TV where we're building homes and transforming society. My name is Tosin Okolua and I'm a transformational coach. On this channel we talk about family life, we talk about how we can actually improve our relationship and become a better person in that relationship so that we can fulfill the purpose for which God has brought us together in that marriage. So today, if you are this kind of a man who you really love your wife and your wife loves you, but something happened or nothing happened and then things just changed, your wife was not what she used to be to you, how she used to admire you, how she used to adore you, something just changed, then this video is for you. Because most of the time in most relationship, people feel, oh, is the responsibility of a woman to ensure that the marriage stands. Yes, it's true, because the Bible told us in Proverbs chapter 14 that a woman builds a home. So it's the primary responsibility of a woman is actually to build a home, but your responsibility as a man is to provide the tools, the atmosphere, everything necessary for that woman to be able to build that home successfully. So some of the things I'll be discussing today is they're actually the things that will help you to become that man that she will admire again. If you've lost that sabo, so it's time to restore it. So sit back and enjoy it. The number one thing I'm going to be talking about is understanding the love language of your spouse. You see, most of the time you're doing things that she doesn't even send you, and it's always very frustrating for so many men when a woman does not appreciate what they are doing. So if you're not doing some of these things, it's very essential for you to go back to them. If you're doing it before or you're doing it wrongly, then there's a need for you to change things. Number one is you need to know, what does my wife want in terms of words of affirmation? Is she this kind of a person that when she does a little thing for you, she expects you to say thank you? Quite a number of men does not know how to say thank you, and that's very true. Not only because some men feel entitled. I put money down for you to cook for me, and then you expect me to say thank you. No, that's wrong. If you put your money down, you can meet your money in your plate. And will you eat your money? No. So for her to take pain, to take time to do the cooking, yes, you should eat the food and appreciate her. Even when the salt is too much, appreciate her, then tell her that, okay, dear, you can improve on this in a good atmosphere. The next thing is that is very, very important is, some men does not just know how to compliment. So if you have a wife who loves a word of affirmation, then you must know how to compliment her. If she makes her hair, if her hair looks good, you see, some of you know, quite a number of men, not everyone, you have daughters, and your daughters will come back from the salon, they look so beautiful, and then you're admiring them, you're appreciating them. The same thing you're doing to her, you need to do it to your wife as well. And if you're not doing that to your daughter, then I say you need to change and start doing that to her. Okay, the next thing is the quality time. For some women, recently I was watching the video of one of the Afrobeat queen in Nigeria, Tiwa Savage, and she said something. She said, I have something, you need to have something that I don't have, because I have this, I have that, and that is becoming the reality in most homes today, because women are waking up to their responsibilities, women are waking up to financial senses, women are having upper hand, getting into professions, that brings them lots of money. So if you think money is the only thing you are there in that relationship to provide, then you might be missing a whole lot of things. Because why? That woman needs more than money from you. She might be needing a quality time. I remember there was this time I was watching the video of this lady. and her husband Adeswai Tommy and Banky W, and Banky W mentioned the fact that his wife wanted a quality time. So if you think you're pursuing money out there and then your wife does not enjoy a time with you, then you're missing it. And that's why you are losing your space in our hearts. So you need to get back to that point. You need to get to the space, get back to our space. There's no way you spend quality time with someone that they won't start loving you. That's the truth. All of us remember when we started dating. I remember when we started cutting, when I started cutting with my husband, we would talk all night, like all night. That was if some of us remember 2002, it was the season of all free night calls. And then my husband will call me and we'll talk for several hours. I don't even know what we're talking about. I can't even remember. Pastor Bimbo will call it sweet nothing. But sometimes we say some things, we just gist, we talk about life and all that. The more you talk, the more you love the person. Remember when you first started. So don't miss that. You can't just afford to miss it. Yeah. The next thing, quality time, quality time, quality time. uh you need to know if the woman wants you to give gifts. There was this story I heard, I think it's from our national overseer then before I got married, Reverend Emmanuel Ajao. So Reverend was teaching us, about marriage or something, or maybe he was preaching about marriage one day, and he said something about a man who has an issue with his wife, and he went to buy chocolates, you know, uh, and the wife returned the chocolates and said she doesn't want. That's the best, and that's probably the best thing that the lady loved, but he gave the chocolate. So do you think your wife love gift, and are you giving the gift at the appropriate time? You can't use your gift to replace sorry or your apology. So you need to understand this. If you can understand this, you will go back to the space where you are in the heart of your wife again. If it's time for you to say I'm sorry, please don't exchange it with gifts. But if it's time to say take this, then it's very essential. For someone like me, I love gifts because I also give gifts. So I really, really appreciate it. It might be so little, but my husband knows that. And he didn't just know. I actually tell him. I have to teach him. I have to tell him. I'm the last child in my family. People go out and bring things for me when they are coming back. So when I got married and my husband will come back home, he won't bring anything. And I'm like, what's going on here? And before we got married, when we're dating, when we're cutting, he will buy something when he's coming to see me. It might be as little as orange or something. But I feel appreciated when my husband or people that I love give me gifts, So when he was doing that, I felt so bad, and I couldn't say it. I didn't tell him. But at some point I have to tell him because it goes to this space for me. I'm like, why will you go out and not buy things when you're coming back? So he gave me the reason, but I said that reason is not cool, so you have to do it. So if he doesn't give me something, I confront him about it and I say, sir, you haven't given me gift for this. So this is very, very essential. If your wife loves gifts, please don't hesitate to do it. Also, the next thing is act of service. So what do you think your wife love you to help in the pastures? There are some people, they don't want you to help them. Yeah, there are people like that. You can't wash their clothes, you can't do their dishes, you can't clean the house for them. Those are the people that when you sweep for them, they will go back and sweep again. If you have that kind of wife, congratulations. But if you have the type like me, get ready for it. So you have to be willing to help me. You have to be willing to stay with me when I'm cooking because I don't enjoy cooking. That's the truth. So I know how to cook, but I don't enjoy cooking. So you have to stay with me for me to be encouraged when I'm doing the cooking. And that's why when my husband and my children are not around, I call friends, or I call my children, or I call my husband and say, I'm cooking, so let's keep talking as I'm cooking. So you really need to know if the act of service is what your wife really need. So men don't, we're not sensitive to these. Sometimes you have a wife that really feels she's strong, she can do all things through Christ that strengthens her. Amen. Thank God for that. If she can do it, let her go ahead and do it. But if you really see that she's overwhelmed, because when a woman works too hard, too much, they start growing older than their age, and you're looking younger and happier. And deep within her, she's not happy, and it's going to affect her emotions and every other areas of her life. So you really need to know act of service. If that's what your spouse wants, if that's what your wife wants, please don't hesitate to give it to her. And then lastly, you need to know, does she want a physical touch? For some women, we want a physical touch, we want to hug, we want to cuddle. For those who love that, you really need to know and give it to them. You can't assume. There are some people, I think I was just with my husband yesterday night or early this morning, and we were talking about how people don't, how some people don't actually love sex, and so because they don't love sex, their spouse suffer for it, which ought not to be so. So if your wife, if your spouse wants to be touched, if your wife wants to be touched, then it's very essential that you really give it to them, because if you're not doing this, you're missing a lot of things. The next thing I would like to talk about, remember, that's number one, how you need to regain the heart of your wife back. The number one is to know her love language, and I mentioned the 5 love languages: the act of service, giving of gift, touch, quality time, and words of affirmation. Those 5 are very, very essential. The next thing is, if there's any issue, you need to learn to communicate the issue, and then forgive one another. We are human. We will always offend each other. Your spouse will always offend you. You people around will always offend you, but we need to learn to, love and forgive one another. This is very, very essential. We need to learn to be responsible. That's the last thing I will say. A lot of men are not responsible, or I will say irresponsible. And how do I mean by being irresponsible? I'm saying that you are not responding to the need of the woman in your life and the people around you. You don't have to be one-way traffic. Like, you just focus on one thing, you focus on your job, you focus on your business. You have to be sensitive to the people around you. You have to be sensitive to your spouse. You have to be sensitive to your wife. What do they need? What does your child need? What does your wife need? Without telling you, you should be able to look at someone and say, okay, I feel she needs this, and you should be able to provide. I hope that helps someone out there. Go and do that assignment and see things changing. But remember, communication is key. So don't forget to open up the line of communication and know what your wife really wants, so that you can regain her heart back and you can become that man that she always adored when you started your relationship. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget, keep becoming a better you, because things work when we work it. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Bye for now.